Okay, you guys and peer pressure have won. I've decided to swap the whole quarter. It's not just you guys, it's the realisation that I was wrong in my last video. I thought the wing joined here. It doesn't. It joins there, which means I get all of that bit which I need to get me all the way down to there, which is good. It also means that bit will be replaced. All of the denting here will be gone, denting there will be gone, and I'll have a nice edge at the bottom so that I can build my boot floor up to it. So I'm not going to chop that off right now. I'm still going to work on the sill, but just so you know, you can all rest easy, it will get done properly. I'm now doing the long, boring and laborious task of drilling out spot welds, particularly around the B pillar. These ones aren't too bad to either find or drill, but the ones that are going to be a bit more of a pain are these ones, because I've got to drill right the way through them so that I can unpick the sill from the middle of that seam. So it's going to be a bit of digging and a bit of chiseling, I think, to get those. So I've been round and drilled out the ones that I can get to, the ones that I can see at least. Some of them are hidden and really difficult to get to, and the only way I'm going to find them is by actually trying to prise the two pots, or three pots, away from each other. At the moment I've just gone through with a 1/4 inch, which I think is about 6 mil or something like that, 6.5. So I'll get a chisel now, try and open up all of these flanges. If I can't get them to shift, then I'll go through the stubborn ones with a 7 or an 8. I don't really want to go too much bigger than that, because when I come to weld this back on, I don't want to be burning through. The sill is actually quite thick steel. It's like, I don't know, 1.2 maybe. So if I put a lot of heat in here to get nice penetration into that thick metal on the back, I might end up burning through these bits if I get too close to the edges by drilling holes that are too big. I've been going at this for a while with a chisel and a hammer, just separating these flanges. They might look like they're all rippled, and they are, but that's not too big a deal because I can straighten all this with a hammer and a mallet afterwards. What's good is that I've separated the B pillar from the floor. What's less good is how much crustiness I'm finding in here. It would all clean up, but I'm starting to wonder whether it wouldn't be better to just chop off the bottom of the B pillar and put a new one on. So I'm going to keep going for the moment as if I'm not going to replace it and try and save as much metal as possible. But tonight, when I get back, I'll check how much a new B pillar is. I know you can still get them, or you certainly used to be able to, and then I can just make a really nice job of putting this back together. That's the remains of that top section of the sill, which was under here. I've chopped that corner out as well because it was a bit rustier than I would have liked. It's still actually pretty solid metal for the majority of it, but there is surface rust. I mean, all up in here it's really good, and it was such a fight to get it off that it's clearly not rotten metal. I just don't want to be going to all this effort putting a sill on for that to bubble through, so I will give that some thought. At the back, I think pretty much everything that needs to come off for the sill to go on is done. Just need to trim off that corner and get that return flange off a bit. It's the same idea as that bit, but I can be a bit more brutal because all of this top side will be replaced, so I can just hack all that out. Front, still really undecided because all of that metal is really good, so it seems silly to take it all off. It would also involve pulling the door, which I can't really be bothered to do at the moment. And as I think I explained in a previous video, it would mean chopping a lot more of this wing off so that I could get access to the spot weld seam, which is up there. So still undecided. I'm going to continue working on the back, finish the inner sill all the way along, and then worry about what I'm doing over here. I've done exactly the same as I did at the B pillar, but here at the rear end of the sill. So that was the top of the sill. That bit butted up against the wheel well in here, and that was the seam that I had to pick apart to get the top of the sill out. And that means now that the sill can be offered up in here and aligned. I've left the bottom corner there and that edge so that I can be reasonably sure that I get the sill in the right place. That just needs a bit of dressing and that's good to go. Then I'm still wondering about that front bit. The only real way of working out what to do down here is to take the door off, which I've done. That is the continuation of the sill, goes under there, disappears underneath the front wing. That bit's a bit crusty, so it's not rotten. You can feel from the underside that it's all good metal, there's no breaches underneath, so it could just be rubbed down and treated. But the more I think about it, if I'm going to change that rear quarter, that's going to need to be painted blue. The top side of the sill is all going to need to be painted blue, so it's not that much of a ball ache to paint that wing. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to chop the bottom of the wing off up to about here. I'm going to do the whole sill as one big section, like properly. Then I'll put that sill on and worry about whether or not I just tack the wing back over the top to get the thing on the road, or whether I actually go to the task of like drilling out all the spot welds all the way along, inner sill, blah 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 blah, and then putting that on. I don't know. Anyway, I've done enough mess making for today, so I'm going to call it a night, and I probably won't get to work on this again until maybe Saturday.